Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. All I'm going to end up eating for lunch today is chicken nuggets, which I can honestly live with. But anyway, we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my OG, and there's some sauce on it. My OG PlayStation shirt since 1994. I think I got this at Target, like, a couple of years ago. Yeah, folks, I love the original PlayStation. I'm definitely something of a gamer. I have not been as up with it as I would have liked to have been in, like, the last few years. But I definitely come from a gaming background, especially like, what's now kind of considered old school gaming. Periodically, people will go over there, like coworkers and stuff, and be like, "Oh, you're into gaming?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, what's your gamer tag? What's this? It's like, I don't know. I mean, I do have like a PS4, that I won. So it's like, but, I'm more of like the old school stuff. I like RPGs and, single player games, stuff like that, but I do still appreciate all that stuff. I think it's very cool. Excuse me. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, I hopped on out to, KFC, because they had a new line of items called Saucy Nuggets that they just unveiled. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know if I was going to even get to these, really. I mean, I do try to keep up with new items, but, like, I want them to be interesting to some extent. Most of the time, anyway. Sometimes it's a throwaway. But I did see that Review Bruh, the report of the week, he went over there and he did his review on them. And he, in his very classic style, he was like, "Can KFC get any worse?" And I was like, I don't know. I'll go try them, I guess. If they're that bad, according to him, I might as well give them a go and see how it goes. So I went over there. It's just a range of sauces. They put their nuggets in them. They give them to you that way. I've now tried out their Georgia Gold and their Sriracha Honey ones. So, going with these are the last ones I'm doing today. They even had a deal going on where if you went over there and you spent more than $10 on their website through an online order, they would give you just a free setup. So that's how I ended up with 3. I ordered 2 and then got this one for free. It's boom! It is their Sticky Chicky, which is apparently just sweet and sour sauce. Sure, why the fuck not? I mean, we might find out. Maybe it's just laced with arsenic. It seems unlikely. That would be a bold direction for KFC to go. But, maybe that was a Colonel's master plan all along. Get them addicted to the chicken and then take them out in 2024. And I will say, you definitely want to, from my experience with the other two, you definitely want to really get, roll them around in the sauce to get the full experience. So, let's do a thing for the thing. Ha 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 ha. That'll do a little bit better. Ha 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 ha. Let's give it a go. Okay. I like it. I can get down with this one. And yeah, I can see where they're going with it, with the sweet and sour aspect. It's not... So if you're like me, and, you've grown up on, like, the classic sweet and sour from, your favorite Chinese takeaway places, you might be expecting that. It's not that. It is somewhat similar. It's not entirely unrecognizable from that, but it is definitely different, which is kind of surprising. You would think that they would basically just recreate that, but I don't know, preservatives or what the fuck ever, who knows. But it does have a nice, kind of sweet and tangy appeal to it. I can get down with it. It has a lot of flavor, but I don't know, it just doesn't have like the same liveliness that like a proper sweet and sour sauce does. It just doesn't, there's almost like a fruitiness that comes through with like, like a takeaway, like a Chinese sweet and sour sauce. With this, you don't really get that. It's more just the flavors that hit you. But it is very much, it's a fast food version of that, where they're trying to emulate the flavor. They're obviously not going to be able to hit at that same level because, they're going over there, they're scaling it, they're trying to make it as accessible for as many people, as easy to make for, or at least carry for all the different locations. That's exactly what it is. And, I will briefly comment on the chicken. Chicken in quality itself is fine. The nuggets are definitely kind of small, but it's like $5 for a thing of 10. It's not terrible. And the nuggets themselves do taste good. Like, it's, and I mentioned this in the other two reviews too, it's KFC chicken. You're either down with that or you're not. I don't think it's quite as good as Popeyes, but... And to that end, and I mentioned this as well in the other reviews, because Popeyes has their flavored wings, which is basically the same concept, except wings instead of nuggets. And I am just going to go over there and toss it out there, although I'm not one to cast shade on KFC over Popeyes. I think both of them have their place. I do think that the flavored wings from Popeyes are better than the saucy nuggets from KFC, just from my personal experience. There are still other flavors of both I need to try, but yeah, I definitely think that I prefer the Popeyes ones. But I do like this flavor. Got a little sweetness, got a little tanginess. It almost kind of has that fruitiness that I associate with like a proper sweet and sour. Like I say, just it doesn't hit that same level. But it's good. I think okay. Two questions have to be asked. Would I get him again? Would I recommend him? I mean, I'm going to go with yes and yes. Like, I think in both instances, for me, out of the three flavors that I've tried, I probably like the sriracha honey ones the most. I think they just have, like, the greatest depth of flavor, and I like what they kind of do, even though there are some issues with them. I can get down with them. With these, I would give these second out of the three that I've had. The Georgia Gold, sadly, would be in third place. But even those I did like for what they were. I mean, they're not exactly what I'm going to consider a standout item for KFC. And again, I appreciate that they seem to at least be challenging Popeyes when it comes to this. But yeah, I think most people kind of, and I think most people kind of look at KFC as sort of being a lesser version of Popeyes. Like, they serve very similar stuff, but Popeyes tends to be a little bit better, KFC, they are, and it's weird to say this because they're both arguably fast food, they're like the fast food version of what Popeyes is doing. This just kind of continues to cement that, It's not breaking away from that. But at the same time, they're relatively cheap. All the sauces that I've had have been good and flavorful and tasty in their own way. Yeah, I could see myself getting this sauce maybe every now and again. Though realistically, if I wanted some sweet and sour chicken, I would just get some real sweet and sour chicken. And if I'm recommending them as a sauce, if you want to try it out, it's pretty good for what it is. Again, it's evocative of what it's trying to be. I don't think it nails it, but it's an inoffensive sauce. It's tasty. It's not particular. There's maybe a tiny bit of heat to it, but I think it's something that most people could get behind. But again, just get some real sweet and sour chicken. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly proper sweet and sour chicken-tastic rest of your life. Again, just, you could probably get the same, you could probably, for around a similar price, get an order of sweet and sour chicken that would be way better, and you would get a shit ton more of it. Just tossing that out there. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there, maybe you're going to watch this review and you're going to be like, Brandon, I don't have a Chinese takeout place near me, so what am I supposed to do? Okay, well, that's fair. That's fair, okay? Because that's the thing, like sometimes, some of the people who comment on my videos, they're like, hey man, I live kind of out in the sticks and I just don't have the options available. Which is unfortunate. I mean, live where you want to live and everything. But it's unfortunate you don't have those options available to you. The one thing I will say, I'm not going to say go way out of your way for it, but if maybe you go on vacation or something like that, maybe go over there and get yourself some proper Chinese takeout. I actually reviewed, it's a local spot. I haven't posted the review yet, and it'll probably come up later than this one will, from a local spot called Hunan Palace, and I went over there and I reviewed some Chinese takeout from there. But if you get the opportunity, man, Chinese takeout, I think it has a very special place in the American experience. So, but anyway,